All right, I'm CVB. This is Kenny G. We're going to take a look at the Big 12 weekend recap here from February 1st and 2nd here in the Big 12 in 2025. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends. Starting off with the game we talked about in our main podcast, K-State gets a massive win, 80-61 at Iowa State. We're not really going to talk about every single game. I want to talk about the first three, then we're going to go over just the scores from the rest. K-State looked, honestly, I think they got down 6-0, and then after that, they really turned it on, making threes, playing defense, getting rebounds, making free throws. Iowa State had 14,000 people there, and they really never really could get into the game because of the way K-State took it to Iowa State the entire game, Kenny.
Oh, yeah. The second half, there was just dead silence, man. Dead silence. What are you going to do when we're just stretching the lead further and further out, there was a little bit of life left when they brought it back down to 6, but then K-State quickly brought it right back up to 19 to end the game. It's just we never let off the gas, man. It just we kept putting it to them, man. It was a good feeling, good solid win, and the Cats have a pulse. They have a pulse. They are alive.
I wanna say really quickly one thing, and we're gonna move on here. Cyclone Larry, which is like the biggest Iowa State Twitter account out there. I think he's got 20,000 plus followers, if not more, honestly. It's really funny. I'm going to read you 3 tweets that he said before the game and during the game and then after the game. Because, by the way, people don't know, Iowa State fans hate Jerome Tang because he spotted people filming his huddle last year, made a big deal about it. K-State lost, Anyways, Cyclone Larry says, Jerome Tang, welcome to hell, buddy. Middle of the game, he says, I am not having fun in Hilton Coliseum. And then after, he says, how did we lose this game?
Yeah, not only lose, but you got your butts kicked, man.
Yep. Nice to see K-State get the win on the road, first win in over a year. Iowa State's 29-game home win streak is over. Moving on. Probably the
and
game.
Also, I also heard, and I don't know if this is true, somebody can fact check me, but I heard somebody say that this was the largest margin loss against Iowa State at home.
That can't be true. It's got to be in the K-State Iowa State rivalry, but
yeah, perhaps it might be.
Fact check us. That'd be great.
Yeah,
because I have a feeling they've lost by more than 19 at home at some point to someone like probably KU or something. Moving on.
Perhaps.
Game of the weekend. Honestly, Texas Tech gets the 82-81 win at Houston. Man, crazy game. First loss of the season in Big 12 play for Houston. Massive win for Grant McCaslin's Texas Tech Red Raiders, including what's interesting is that Texas Tech actually had a player ejected because he threw a pass. And when he did that, he kind of kicked his leg out and hit a Houston player in the private area. And they said he did it on purpose, which to me, honestly, kind of looked like he did do it on purpose. Anyways, he was ejected. Texas Tech fans and their AD even put out a statement, which was wild to see. Upset about it. Regardless, they get the win. They get to 17-4, 8-2 in the Big 12. Texas Tech 82-81 winners in overtime at Houston.
You can't let up, man. Houston cannot walk in and think that they're just going to get the dub because they're at home. They're a talented team. Texas Tech, man, holy smokes! That's a statement win right there for them. This is a gauntlet, dude. This is the best conference for in this sport, best conference in the country, man. You're gonna go through the gauntlet. You can't let up. There's no easy wins unless you're against Colorado.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They're the only ones who hasn't won a game in conference play. So, moving on. Baylor was down 19 points at halftime. Look at the score, Kenny.
Yeah.
They were down 40-21 at halftime. They outscored KU by 30 in the second half to win 81-70. My goodness, what is happening in Lawrence, Kenny?
I don't know, but man, they're taking some L's, and I love it. I love it. Yeah, dude, look how many. Hold on a second. How many teams got 81 points? Can we just scroll? I'm
Oh my
looking at
gosh,
these.
dude. Oh my gosh.
How many got 81?
81.
How many?
81. 81. 81. 81. 80. In case it missed a free throw, it could have been 81.
Everybody got
Wow.
81 points.
Oh
What
my
the
God.
hell? I'm just seeing these scores. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold
there's
on a
an-
second.
And there's another one down here. Yeah. It's crazy, dude.
I can't believe that. That's amazing. Yeah. So anyway, sorry for that little sidetrack there. Yeah, Baylor. You thought that they were just phoning it in. Turns out, no, they needed a half to wake up or something. That's the most random thing. KU is not playing their best basketball this year.
No.
They have thrown so many leads. I mean, we've talked about the one last podcast against Houston. They're up like 6 points, shooting free throws with 18 seconds left. They throw it. It's like, what are they doing, man? They're not playing their best. And they're definitely looking like I don't know. They're looking human, man. They're not looking like superhero KU. They're definitely not the best team in the conference, that's for sure. And Baylor, I mean, we all know Baylor is a great program. It's just that's impressive. Anytime you do a comeback win against KU, it's impressive because they're not a bad team. You know, very well coached. They've got great players on their team. It's just for whatever reason, their head's not in it, man. They're losing these weird games. And as a K-State fan, you gotta love it. Thank you, Baylor, for the upset and for the comeback win. And I also think that was.
Thank you,
I think they said that in this one, I heard that was also the biggest comeback.
In school history?
In school history, yeah, the biggest comeback win.
I believe
it's
it.
Wild. It's wild.
It is wild. I've been looking for that photo because we had it on here, and I think it's on the other computer I was using. So unfortunately, I can't show the picture he's talking about where KU's up 6 with 18 seconds left shooting free throws. But yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks like there was a little rivalry game going on in the next one. We have Arizona and Arizona State.
And Arizona State's coach, Bobby Hurley, related to the head coach for UConn, they're brothers, pulled his team off the court as soon as the buzzer sounded. His players did not shake hands with Arizona after the game.
Wow. That is like the opposite of what Kenny Dillingham did.
Right? Like, dude, like
where the players wanted to get off and he said, no.
I'm not surprised.
You're going to go shake their hands because that's what we do.
I'm not surprised, honestly, because the Hurley brothers are crazy. Like, if you ever seen his brother coach for UConn, which obviously he knows how to coach. He knows how to win. They act nuts on the sidelines. They act like freaking Bobby Knight. It's crazy. But yeah, shout out to Arizona, 9-1, tied for first in the Big 12. I don't think anyone saw that when they were like what? I think they were like, I don't know, like 8-5 or something like that, something crazy, or 6-5 or something like that. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at the teams right here, these are the teams that K-State is going to be playing in the back half. I mean, we're going against BYU, UCF. We're done playing Oklahoma State, but Utah, both Arizona and Arizona State.
Arizona State twice.
We're going against them twice. So again, the schedule is looking pretty good. It doesn't look like anything we can't handle. I'm not seeing any crazy first half, like 50 something points in the first half by any of these teams. It's all pretty manageable, pretty consistent with the rest of the league. You put around like 30 something and then you try to, get 40 there in the second half, and it's pretty much consistent through and through. I mean, there's a lot of great teams in this conference, and it's all about who shows up, who puts in the effort, who plays a little bit of defense, and who's making them free throws. I mean, that's all it comes down to.
Yep.
So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the season now. At first, man, if you you talked to us a couple weeks ago, we were miserable.
We put out 2 videos that said basically K-State sucks.
Yeah, we're like, the season's over. Phone it in. Like, look forward to football. Don't even talk to me about basketball. But after a big win, we're on 3-game winning streak. It's feeling good to be a K-State fan right now. We just want to make the consistency. Make that 3-win streak into a 10-game win streak. That would be amazing.
I mean, that's essentially what they have to do. They have to win.
They have to do that.
They have to win like 10 games in a row, or or something. So
yeah, and then get to the Big 12 tournament and make a big splash
and win even more. I mean, that's the hole they've dug themselves in. But thankfully, honestly, I feel like K-State has the talent to do so.
This is what we thought was going to be the case. The way that they were playing.
On a tangent right now, but yes.
I mean, yeah. When we went to the portal and we got these players, this is the kind of performance we were hoping that they were going to do. So, it's just it came a little later than we thought it would, but I mean, we're here now. So we'll see. I'm sure Stevie and I will either be giving you a video saying like we're doing it, or we're giving you a video where like, well, that was short-lived.
One of those is going to happen in the next.
One of those is going to happen in the next week or so. We're hoping it's going to be
on the positive
positive for the Cats, but
Shout out to Caleb Love scoring 27 points for Arizona against Arizona State in a rivalry game, and for him to make this shot again. I'm going to pull it up one more time. Earlier this past week, making a half-court shot against Iowa State to send it to overtime, which they ended up winning the game. So Caleb Love, great player, transfer from North Carolina, went to the Final Four with them. He's going to be tough to defend here in a couple weeks for K-State. Moving on. Utah loses 72-81 at Oklahoma State. Not like I don't really want to touch on that. Both of these teams kind of stink.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to say anything much about that. BYU gets a win 81-75 at UCF, kind of like the mid-tier Big 12 teams there. I'm not excited to play either one of these teams really in the second half of the season, but I don't feel like either one of them are better than Iowa State in case they just beat them. So
yeah, I think it's important, and I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but it's important not to overlook teams, especially if you're K-State. Yep. You're not in a position to overlook anybody. Teams like Iowa State, they can overlook a team like K-State. I mean, you shouldn't, but they could afford it because why? Because they're already at 17 wins.
Yep.
So going down the stretch, like you said, it's just going to get more intense. The wins are every win for K-State is a must win. So I'm hoping that they stay focused on that, where every team is a must-win scenario because, again, it's just the position we're in. So they can't afford to overlook anybody. So if I'm K-State, I'm looking at every single team like we can beat these guys. We need to beat these guys. We need to be on our A game because they're good, and we need to give them the respect that they're good. But we are able to beat these guys. And I think beating Iowa State is going to at least give them the confidence going in every single game with the confidence saying we can beat these guys because we've already proven that we've beaten the best in our conference, then we can beat them. So once you get over that hump, I feel like it gives you sort of like just this boost of confidence. And you're hoping it's confidence and not cockiness because that would be bad. But I think K-State's been humbled enough this year that it wouldn't be cockiness. Yeah. So there you go.
Really quickly, Roy Wall says, we are still trying to find ourselves at Provo. 4 wins in a row, so things are trending upwards. Yeah, so he's talking about BYU. They have a new coach this year as well.
He's a big-time coach, right? Like from the NBA?
Yes. We were too reliant on freshmen to start the season. Yeah, I mean, it takes a team a while to find themselves, and even teams that have a bunch of veterans returning like KU are struggling. So it's a long season, and I'd rather be peaking in February and March than back in November and December. So.
Right, and the thing is I would much rather be in BYU's position than K-State's position. I mean, they're in a much better position to get to the dance. They're playing very well right now, and I would even, I just think, it's a gauntlet. So everybody is going to be gunning for everyone. And no one's safe in this conference. I mean, you just saw Houston lose. So no one's safe. Everyone's gunning for you. Everyone it's like must win across the conference.
Yep.
So those who are, the 4 and 6 category, from 3 and 7, 4 and 6, all the way up, look out for those teams.
They're in must win, like backs to the wall.
Exactly.
Right now, so.
Yeah, right now they have to win. Like, they're going to be giving it their all right now for the next couple of weeks. Once you're out, though, that's when you'll start to see teams kind of bend over and let teams have their way with them. But for the most part, it's pretty much that's it.
I think it's kind of already happening with one team, and as we move on to the Sunday games, West Virginia gets a big 63-50 win at Cincinnati. Cincinnati drops to 2-8 in the Big 12. This was a team that was ranked in the top 25 at the start of Big 12 play. K-State beat them. They really haven't, rebounded since then. This is a team that I think is already kind of tanking. Losing at home by 13 to West Virginia, which K-State actually beat them, West Virginia, about a week ago at home by 13 as well. So, yeah, I mean, only scoring 50 points total at home, that's bad. It's real bad. And then really quickly, TCU wins 68-57 against winless Colorado. Man, I really wish K-State could have beaten TCU to get one more win there. They should have won. They didn't. Neither one of these games are too much to talk about. Kenny, anything you want to say before we move on?
The teams that ended up winning are the teams that you expect to win.
I agree.
Colorado's playing awful. They definitely didn't join this conference for their basketball program, and it's showing. T. Nelly,
what up?
Coming in hot with the Earth Nation.
Let's go, Earth Nation.
So yeah, good on West Virginia, TCU. I mean, those were expected wins out of those two teams. Yep. Low scoring games. I mean, they didn't even get 81 points, Steve. So
there's 6 on Saturday. So that is right. The look around the Big 12 this past weekend, February 1st and 2nd in the Big 12 men's basketball. I'm eating purple.